Hi, Clyde here for Ground Zero Behind the Scenes, and I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but I've been trying to gather a lot of information about what's going on with this so-called emergency alert notification and the idea that they're going to use it as not a test, but they're going to make it look like the real thing. Usually they say this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. They're not going to do it this time. It's going to be an emergency test, but you have to know that it's a test. If you don't, you could think that something terrible is happening, some sort of a major disaster, major emergency. Much like the War of the Worlds that happened back in the 1930s. Orson Welles came on and they gave 3 disclaimers, but still people thought that the world was being invaded by aliens. Which got me to thinking about, well, we got a lot of strange stuff going on right now in space, and a lot of weird things are going surrounding this whole emergency notification. So what if this is kind of the scenario they're playing out right now? Let me give you an example. Take a look at YU-55. YU-55 is the asteroid that everybody's worried about right now. It's the one that's going to be flying overhead tomorrow here in Portland around 3 p.m. Pacific time. However, they're going to do the test, or the so-called test, the emergency notification. They're going to be doing it the next day at around 11 a.m. Portland time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. So it's odd because people are saying, isn't this a weird-looking asteroid? It's sort of round, looks like a spaceship, about the size of an aircraft carrier. It's kind of bizarre, right? Well, here's something more bizarre. Take a look. This is something that a listener sent in. It's amazing. It's something that followed the moon last night, and it looks like an extraterrestrial craft of some kind. It has a bright red ball, and then they have this coronal type of ejection behind it, or some sort of a flash behind it, or perhaps it's completely triangular. Who knows? It's still being examined. Actually, I'm seeing now, as I'm looking at it more, sort of a trailing off sort of thing behind it. What are people seeing in the sky? This was sent in by a listener. Now take a look at this. These were seen over Christchurch, New Zealand. What are those strange things in the sky? And many people witness them, and they're happening all the time there in Christchurch. Now take a look at this. This was taken right below the moonscape near a windmill in Norfolk, England. You see these strange craft here, something strange here? My question is, could they be perhaps doing something where they need to have a drill, or they need to create some sort of a way or protocol to bring this thing in if it's coming to the Earth? Now they say it's not going to hit us, and they say it's passing over. What if they want to shut down operations just to communicate with it? That's the question I want to know. Here's another thing that I wanted to show everyone, and that is what you're seeing here on Google Maps is you're seeing this X here in the Aleutian Islands right between Russia and Alaska. This is a proposed drill area for something called Pacific West 11, which is a drill that they're conducting. The National Weather Service and several other groups and seismic groups are going to be conducting a drill at the very same time that asteroid is going to be passing over the planet. And this drill will consist of a scenario using a tsunami, and this tsunami is going to be a huge tsunami that will have effects from the area where it begins to the entire west coast of the United States and parts of Chile and the upper areas near this area here. So if you take a look at all the areas that would be affected by this tsunami, there you have it. That's their drill. Now the question I have is, why such a big tsunami, and for what reason? Well, they're saying that if this YU-55 asteroid decides to hit into the Earth, it would cause a tsunami about 70 feet high and an earthquake of 7.0 on the Richter scale. So what is happening? No one knows, but we're doing a test. We're doing also a tsunami test or drill, and we're seeing all kinds of strange anomalies out in space, including the asteroid that is supposedly not going to hit us. I'm Clyde Lewis, and you're watching Ground Zero Behind the Scenes.